Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of This Week on iRacing. If you're new around here, it is essentially a series that gives you all the information that you need before the races go live on the UI. So let's go through some of the popular races this week first. So let's talk about IMSA, a very popular series in iRacing. So the IMSA Open, Fixed and Endurance Series are heading to Laguna Seca. Now, IMSA does race here in real life, but they are professionals. Most of us are plebs when it comes to racing at Laguna Seca, and I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad. I don't know about participation levels. I really don't. It's a free track, and it is IMSA, but it's just going to be carnage. It just will be. GTPs on cold tyres are going to be an absolute nightmare. LMP2s won't be as bad. GT3s will be fine, but if you're going to be in a GT3, the sends you are going to receive is going to be ridiculous, absolutely insane. It should be fun. It'll be quite memey. It'll be a good laugh, but participation levels won't be great. And I think you just got to go into it with an open mind of, I might not survive this. I might lose some iRating, and if there is iRating to lose, the popularity of the series does kind of go down a little bit. If it doesn't seem like a sweaty kind of combination, you can grind out and gain some iRating. Participation levels do suffer quite a bit. So, with that in mind, IMSA this week, bit meh, if I'm being completely honest with you. Track temp is 40 degrees, so it's quite hot. There's no chance of rain. 6 hour this weekend as well. Starts at 3 p.m. It's going to get, I think it will get dark by the end of the 6 hour, but that's about it really. So, not the best start. Okay, next up, let's talk about the GT3 Series. So the GT Sprint, the GT3 Fixed, and the GT Endurance. This week, we're going to Le Mans, so we are going to an absolutely fantastic track. However, for me personally, I feel like GT3s at Le Mans are very much a death trap. They just basically get all the wing stripped off them, and it is just a survival, really, and it's just a slipstream fest. So, as good as this, as good as racing around Le Mans sounds in GT3s, for me, it's not great. This track really, for me personally, is for prototypes. It's not, when it comes to GT3 stuff, I don't know, like a lot of the cars, like the things like the Audi and the Porsche and stuff like that, they don't really stand a chance here. So you kind of just then stuck with your Mercedes and your BMWs and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's just one of those. It will get really good participation. There'll be some cracking races. It'll be good for SR. There are positives to this combo, but for me personally, I don't think it's that great. I don't think this track really suits these cars, but that is just my opinion. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, regardless of what I'm saying here. But yeah, GT Open, GT Fixed, no rain to worry about at all. We do, however, in the Endurance have a 37% chance of rain. Race will start about 20 to 8 after quali, so probably more like 8 p.m, just past that. So, yeah, I mean, it says 34%, it was at 37 when you check the UI, but the chance of rain is actually higher beforehand. I think there's a good chance that the race on the endurance side, anyways, is going to start off damp or wet, and then it will dry out. So, it will make the 3 hour interesting to have a wet track going into darkness. That is going to be very spicy, so at least that could be somewhat fun. But yeah, tips for this thing: just stay in the draft. It is absolutely crucial. If you're by yourself, you've got no chance. You can't save any fuel. Your top end will be too low. Lots of little things like that. But either way, GT stuff at Le Mans, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Okay, so something that is popped up that I'm very much interested in and is incredibly underrated, and hopefully get some decent numbers, but maybe not, because the cars just aren't that popular. Even though they drive brilliantly, they just don't run in many series at all. And that is Ringmeister. And for the Ringmeister, we have the GT1 cars, and they sound incredible. They look incredible. They drive really, really well. And it is at the Nordschleife. So, what's not to like? It's just mega. I absolutely love the GT1 cars. So underrated on this service. Don't get the love they deserve. They do get a special event this season, this year, which I'm really, really, really looking forward to. But yeah, Ringmeister, GT1 cars, banger. Next up then, we actually have the Falcon Tyre Challenge. So that is the Multiclass Series with the LMP3s and GT4s. We have the GT4 Fixed, and we have the LMP3 Trophy. all of those series are heading to Laguna Seca this week. So IMSA and those series are sharing Laguna Seca. Now, I think this series will be quite popular. It is very popular, but the fact it's going to a free track this week could boost its popularity even more, to be honest with you. So participation levels for this series should be high, and it'll be very high in the GT4 Fixed and the LMP3 Trophy. LMP3 Trophy, maybe not so much, because it does have a 28% chance of rain in the LMP3 Trophy, but Laguna Seca, it is a fun track, but when it comes to really, really fast up stuff, it can be a little bit problematic, shall we say. And multi-class racing, you think, surely it can't work, but LMP3s and GT4s just have this kind of reputation of being able to just race at any track. For me personally, I find. So this should be a good, fun combo. So if you're not a massive fan of IMSA being here this week, and you think with the GT3 stuff, you know, having no wing and just potentially dying every time you go through a corner, this might be the series for you this week. This is going to be my highlight, because I think this is just going to be an absolute corker. So keep an eye out for it. If you're looking for a bit of fun, definitely do the LMP3 GT4 multi-class races, but you can do the GT4 Fixed or the LMP3 Fixed as well. So I think it's a good one. Okay, next up, we have a special event this weekend, boys and girls. Well, I say this weekend, it's actually 2 weekends in a row. But for this weekend, we have the Indianapolis 500 Fixed. Next weekend is the Open. Now, for anybody who hasn't done the Indy 500 before, I highly recommend you do it. It's a lot of fun. There's a little bit of information you'll need to know about how qualifying works and stuff like that and the time slots. So I definitely recommend going to the forums. I'll leave a link in the description for the post about the Indy 500. But this weekend, it is the Indy 500 Fixed. Now, the thing you need to know about the Indy 500 is that qualifying is separate. You don't actually go in via your iRating. It is split via qualifying. So there'll be qualifying slots throughout the week that you'll have to do, and your average 4 laps. So you'll do 4 laps in quali, and then it'll take your average time, and then it'll put you into a split for when you register the race. Now, you don't have to do qualifying, and then it will just put you in a split the old-fashioned way, but many people do the qualifying. Sometimes it's a good way to get a mix of iRating, because you don't want to have like that free 4K kind of overall rating and not actually do any Indy 500 and be mixing with the boys and girls that actually know what they're doing. So yeah, Indy 500 this weekend. It's a lot of fun. It is a fix this weekend. Next weekend will be the Open, so we've basically got 2 weeks of it. There will be the Indy Open and Fix series, which I think are running at this track this week, so you can get plenty of practice in. If you want to, you can do the shorter races. So definitely recommend doing those if you can. But yeah, Indy 500, it's a mega race. It really is so much fun, so I definitely recommend it. I think like a max of like 33 cars. You'll probably need a C license for it, and yeah, expect lots of high participation levels. Indy 500, it's back. I think you're all going to enjoy it. All right then, so before we end the video, let's have a look at some of the other series that people might be wanting to race this week. So one that I always potentially look out for when it comes to this is the Porsche Cup, because the Porsche Cup was absolutely just fantastic last week when it went to Spa. So this week, you're not going to be disappointed, because it's going to Daytona. Now, I've never seen the Porsche Cups at Daytona, but I feel like this could be a really good combo. So Porsche Cup Spa and then Porsche Cups at Daytona, you know, back to back. That is absolutely brilliant. Really good stuff. So if you're a fan of the Porsche Cup and fan of Daytona, my goodness me, what a combination you'll have there. So Open and Fixed are going to be going there. Now, one other thing I have noticed, Production Car Challenge. Now, very popular series. It is going to Lime Rock Park. So Lime Rock Park, it's a legacy version. I'm not quite sure what the differences are, if I'm being completely frank with you, but multi-class series, you go in there with a low license. It's a lot of fun, pretty good participation levels because it's a free track. So Production Car Challenge this week should be a laugh. That should be pretty damn decent. Nothing else that really stuck out to me when it comes to the sports car stuff. So let's have a quick look at the Formula stuff before we end it here. So looks like we're going to the Nürburgring, but I reckon that is going to be the GP circuit, the GP circuit. Okay, so that could be somewhat decent. That could be somewhat decent. Again, participation levels on that should be pretty good. To be honest with you, many people have that track because they want to race around the Nordschleife or the Nürburgring 24 hour, and you need to have the GP circuit as well as the actual Nordschleife to race it. So, well, let's have a quick look at the Formula C stuff. Hockenheim, it's okay. I think it's half decent in Formula cars. I'm not really a fan of it in sports cars, but in Formula cars, that could be quite good. And Hockenheim's a popular track, so that could be okay. Let's have a look at the F4 Challenge Fixed. That's going to Navarra. Not the most popular track in the world, but we'll see. I mean, it's F4. If any series can get half-decent numbers, normally F4. Very, very popular. Let's have a look at the Asia-Pacific Series. So that's going to Oran Park, so that's a free track. So could be half-decent, but it's not that popular, if I'm being completely honest with you, and sadly it doesn't even exist anymore. The FIA F4 Series for the Americas, that's going to Summit Point Raceway. It's a free track. That could be somewhat decent. Be interesting to see those cars race around there. They'll be very, very quick. Having a quick look at the FIA F4 Europe Series, Circuit de Lebanon. Free track, be quite tasty in the F4s there, to be honest with you. They're probably a little bit too quick for that track, but we'll see, Anyways, I think that about does it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you're still enjoying the series. If you do, please leave a like on the way out. Subscribe, as always, and I'll catch you for the next episode next week. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good week on iRacing. Ta-da.